What up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to stop. I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Van Zant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs, I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Greetings and salutations, family.
Well, hello, my love. How art thou?
I am starving.
I am
and my kid, because my groceries was just go.
girl. Tracy, if you still in here, hey girl, go tell the people we live in the group chat, because I'm in the members only chat. I don't think I told them I was live in the members only chat.
Okay.
Hey, my sis. Hey, my love.
Hey, baby, listen. I'm finna, all this lovely hair that I have, I'm finna pull it
I
back.
know. I do love it. It is the tip.
Listen, it's fall. I thought I would go Arbor for the fall time. Pumpkin spice.
The hair is.
Thought I'd do something a little different. But yeah, I'm ready to put this in a ponytail so we can fight. Oh, boys, mom.
Hey, Marcia. Hey, Lemon Kush. Hey, Miss Takesha. Hey, Tracy C. Hey, everybody. Excuse me. All right. So I saw, it must have came out, I think maybe Friday.
I think so.
Thursday or Friday. Because all on my Facebook, I just keep seeing and hearing people talk about Kirk Franklin. So I said, well, what's going on with Kirk? What's going on? And so they were like, documentary. I said, well, documentary. I said, I ain't even, I'd be off. Anyway,
right. We be off the grid. We'll be paying attention.
Do not be paying attention. So I was like, well, what platform is it on? They said it was on YouTube. I say, YouTube, girl, I could do that.
Right.
Girl, give me the free. Because the people was just really going in on this thing. So I was like, girl. And then when I saw it was only 35 minutes, I was like, it can't be that bad. I don't know. Well, here's my thing. I will say this. Some of it in the beginning, I was like, Kirk, you just being real melodramatic. In the beginning part. Or is that just me? Because in the beginning, I was like, girl, Kirk, like, but Kirk is very melodramatic, so that makes sense. He's real dramatic. He's real about the antics, and
He is.
so it was
And
real
his little
melodramatic.
clothing just be real dramatic about a lot of stuff. But in this instance,
He had a reason. Once we got to the second half, I was like, okay, I understand. Hey, lovely 31 Blueprint. For you all who may or may not have watched it, Kirk Franklin released his own. I guess he, paid a production team and, produced it himself. That does play a part into it as well. I'm always must say when you're doing your own, production, your own documentary, you do get to take out, edit, and put things however you want it, and it can sway on your side. So I will start by saying that, but
right.
it's on his YouTube channel. I think he got what about 2 million subscribers on YouTube or whatever,
Oh, you want me to tell the whole
somewhere around there. I
story?
know he got over 1 million, but it's on his YouTube channel. It's about 35 minutes long,
Yes.
so it's not too long. It is called Father's Day. He also has it's in tandem with an album.
Hmm.
I gotta put all of this out there before if you haven't watched it, go and watch because it is a promotional, I guess you would call it, for said album.
Yes.
So that factors into it as well. Um so I just wanted to get all of that part, that preliminary part out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we come into it. He starts off telling us his backstory, how he was adopted by an older relative in his family. I think she's went on to, and transitioned on to be with the great I am.
Yes.
And but she was an older relative. His mom, you know, she adopted him, Kirk, from his mom, and he talks about I didn't have no siblings. I was by myself. That part I didn't appreciate because I felt like that woman didn't deserve that because one, she's not here anymore, and two, for better or for worse, she did take you in and raise you when she could have just said, well, screw it, you can go on off within the system. And a lot of kids that end up in
End
the
up like
system,
that.
all
Yeah.
types of horrible things happen. So, and we all go through, trauma as children. We all go through good, bad, and in between. But I just didn't like in the beginning how he kind of painted that lady or tried to come at that lady. What you thought?
Um, I didn't feel like he was like, oh, he's. I don't think he meant like she was horrible to him. I think I feel like he meant like being an only child was horrible because I was always alone and I was always by myself and things like that. I don't think he meant like she was doing stuff to him that was terrible or anything like that. I just think he was lonely and that was horrible for him, who seems to be a very social, gregarious person and being forced to live an introverted life when you are clearly an extrovert. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Would seem horrible to you. I would have been fine with it because
I
I
think I,
am an
I think
introvert.
it's because I think one time um he talked about having he it was something he said saying I had a horrible childhood and what I had something it was something he said referencing what I had to endure as if he was saying I don't know if he got beat or whatever I don't know people You grew up in the same household with some people. Y'all get the same amount of beatings, and y'all have
Right.
two separate
And one
stories
person think it's
about
fine, and the other person is traumatized for the rest of their life.
right for the rest of
So
their
it
life,
just
and the other one like, girl, you still on that? Like, girl.
right.
So hey, Harold. Hey, lovely 31. But okay, so that was my first thing. I was like, Kirk. the- I once I watched the whole thing, I was like, and because when I started watching, I forgot how long it was because I
Hmm.
kind of got enthralled into it. It really should have been about an hour, hour and a half. This really should have been an hour and a half if you want to flush
The
this
whole
out the
thing.
way it's supposed to be flushed out. It absolutely was not long enough. And so then he
You think it
goes in.
wasn't longer because the mama and the auntie refused to sign their paperwork?
I think they eventually did sign their paperwork because he wasn't getting out that truck until she signed the paperwork. And she was like, well, okay, I'm gonna sign it. Just let me go get the pen or whatever. Your mama coming. So I think they did
Eventually sign it.
yeah, I think they did eventually sign it.
Mm.
I guess it was an NDA or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. Apparently,
So
because I feel like he know them people. So
mhm.
he was like, if I don't get them to sign this gonna be on TMZ tomorrow. They're gonna
So
tell the story, and then
now I think I glossed over and missed the part where he talked about how because he talked about the guy who he thought was the dad, and that
Mhm.
guy ended up dying, and
Right.
he kind of made the dad feel bad that he wasn't there, and the dad died. Oh, the man he thought he was died, but I forgot how he said he found out. Hey, Bilo, that the other man might have been his dad.
Because Mr. Rick came to that funeral and he was talking to somebody in the family. He was like, "Oh yeah, me and Deborah used to date a long time ago." And there was, as soon as he said that, the family started rumor. No, you know how the family rumor mill go.
Hmm.
And it was like, "Oh, he looked just like Kirk. He looked just like Kirk." And then somebody texted Kirk and told him about Mr. Rick and how
Okay.
him and his mama used to date, and they look alike. So that's where they got it from.
Okay. So then so the guy agreed. The guy was real nice about it. He said, I'll do my DNA test. He did the DNA test. They
Hmm.
said that in. The lady called, I guess the office or whatever. Hey, Xavier calls and says, you are this man is 100% your daddy.
Hmm.
And he goes into doing what Kirk Franklin does. He's, you know.
That'd be my response. That would have been my response as well. What you mean? That don't even, because it takes time for you to process and compute. When somebody give you something, that's like when I got a phone call about somebody passing away. They had to repeat it to me a couple of times because it
Mhm.
just wasn't computing it. Like, what are you trying to say to me? Because it doesn't in that instance, it doesn't make sense. So it takes a minute for you to process. So him repeating himself over and over again, makes sense because that's what happens when I try and process like traumatizing news. You're gonna have to repeat it to me a couple of times until I get it. Because I'm gonna keep be like, what? What does that mean? Are you
And
sure?
then he went and started recording. Shout out to Isaac Curry and all of the background singers. Isaac Curry, know he be singing. I saw. Did he have Kalante Gavin on that one point?
I think so.
I think I saw Kalante at the end. Kalante be singing too. I ain't gonna be lying.
I feel like this album gonna be fire. I do.
The album gonna be sickening now. I ain't gonna like now. Say what you want about Kirk. Kirk be right.
Hmm.
Kirk be writing his face off.
Show do.
So I feel like the album probably, especially when you're going through trauma and stuff like that, baby,
He gonna use it all for the glory of the Lord and to be
Mhm.
appreciated.
So did he see the dad first or did he go see the aunt? I know he called the aunt first because I
Mhm.
got triggered on the phone when he was in the car and he said, Sandra. And she said, who?
She
And
did.
I was like, girl, girl, it was all that. Auntie Sandra, because I don't know who you talking to. Girl. But you could tell. Once he was on that, I see why you don't talk to these people. I
Right.
see
Because they're
exactly
very,
why it's been this long.
and clearly he don't even talk to the mama. He don't have her phone number, nothing.
So we gonna get to that in a second, Xavier, because there's a whole reason for that. We gonna break that down in a little bit, Xavier.
Wait a minute, who was Tyler?
I think he talking about Tyler.
Tyler Lepley?
No, Perry.
Tyler Perry can go straight.
Now what did Mother Perry do?
It got Beyonce's ignorant. And Beyonce's internet talking about something. It's okay if your man can only afford to pay the light bill and you pay all the rest of the bills. Be happy with that. Nigga, who?
Oh God.
Listen, Xavier, I'm like that with my nieces and nephews. You better put a handle on. Don't call me by my first of all, I love you. But I don't love you enough for you not to call me, give me my appropriate title. Please don't.
But in the same regard, your relationship with your nieces and nephews are a bit different than Kirk. If you had some estranged grown person that came and your brothers or sister had this estranged child that you magically came into your life for the first time, you know what I'm saying? They grown. 30s, 40s. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it would be as disrespectful if they came and say, "Hey, Ebony, how are you?" You know what I'm saying? When they called you on the phone.
Mm-mm.
Now, me and my aunts, I've never not called my aunt whoever, or auntie so and so, but they grew up with me. They were always, even my aunts that are more like my sisters because we grew up in the same house together and we're close in age. That's still, auntie so and so, auntie. So I this that, but we grew up together. But if you were estranged from this person until they were grown, real grown, you know what I'm saying? And then I feel like that's a little different. Maybe that's just me.
Well, bet not Nail. Nail one of my nieces, nephews.
So
my niece tried me one time. Walked up on me, called me Ebby. Excuse me. Who was you talking to?
So I get that, but I feel like this relationship is a little different. But whatever. He called the mom. He called her auntie. Because he don't call his mama. Mama, he say Deborah.
Because she gave him away.
That's my point. So.
But Aunt Sandra didn't give you away.
Aunt Sandra didn't give you away. I don't know. Anyway, that whole back and forth, I was like, she about to be a problem. The daddy was cool. When the daddy found out, he was, because he didn't know. He honestly didn't know.
That's that's the conclusion that I came. The daddy is the only one with some fucking sense in this whole situation.
Mm-hmm. Because when he told the mama, she, I put this on my mama's grave. Really?
Well, we put it on DNA, bitch, and they said he the daddy. So now.
She tried to make it almost like she knew because she and the guy never had sex. If he stuck it in, hey, boo, there's a possibility that you might be pregnant. If you put the raw cookie dough in the oven, it might pop out some cookies. What do you want from us? There's no way I put it on my mama. And so he was like, he was better than me. I'm telling you right now. So are you saying we need a second DNA test? Yes, Baby, we don't need a second nothing. Baby, because he was like, so you said
They had 2 tests.
they did. I think he went to a different lab or whatever. And I wouldn't have
They
did
did
a
a
second
second
thing.
test, and the second test said the same thing as the first test.
I would not have even given her the satisfaction, hey, Bobo, hey, Cookie, of the second test. Baby, when we did the first test, girl, and you
We was
denied.
having a media conversation. Miss Mamas, what's going on?
Like, girl, what?
Like Kirk is what? Almost he's 50.
Kirk is 50 something. He's in his 50s.
Ma'am, you 50 years removed from the act. What you hiding though?
Like, it's happened. He's here. Hey, Tracy W. Like, girl.
She remind me of that mama that was on Ayanla, who made it up in her mind that the husband had molested the children. So she snatched the children, and then they had to do a lie detector test, and she still was like, he still did it, even when the lie detector said she was lying about it. That's her.
Just a mess. Girl, I looked at her like, and even the sister, Aunt Sandra, looked at her like, girl,
Come on.
girl. The first time the sister looked at her like, girl. So the mama ain't shit.
My question is, what is the big deal if he is the father? It's 50 years after the fact.
For all intents and purposes, he looked like he doing well. Kirk said, oh, he stay up the street from me. Girl, you know, he's obviously doing well.
It's 50 years later. Don't nobody care that she was dropping down and get her eagle on.
The whole family knew. That's how we got to this point. The family already knew, girl, you was over there.
You had a whole baby daughter. We knew you was fucking. What you mean?
Girl. Now, here's the part. Because I feel like they put this in there because Kirk knew people were going to be like, wait a minute.
Right.
But this should have been a much longer part. When he went over there to see Carry On, when all of that stuff with the daddy, I said in my head, I know you ain't finna go through all of this with your daddy. And then you got a whole situation with you. Right. So that's why I was like, bruh. So I was waiting for, and by that point, it was at the tail end of the document, and I felt like it was so much to unpack in that moment. Because even as much as Carry On,
I think they edited a lot of it out.
Exactly. I feel like Carry On probably said a lot of stuff on that camera that Kirk probably did not want out in the streets.
Or that
Carry On has his own mental issues and is hurting because you could tell when he broke down, knowing knowing that his father had found his father and knowing that he was estranged from his own. It was that whole, connection. And I feel like it was when he found out, I think that a lot of the emotion was because of his estrangement from Carry On. Carry On is the oldest.
Right. And he said he ain't talked to that boy in 2 years.
Right. And I know it, I'm not going to diminish the, solace he may have gotten finding out who his dad was. But I know a lot of that was bubbling up from the situation with Carry On.
Absolutely.
And so for him to make Carry On just a real blip on the screen at the end, I felt robbed in that situation. I felt real robbed. Like you said, there was a lot of, and they did a lot of editing on that part. Because one might say and I'm not going to knock people, there are people who may not have seen the documentary, but there are people who may feel you're just as horrible to your son as people look at Deborah being to you.
No.
What? No, there is people because remember you got to. What I'm saying, Evie, I'm not saying you or anybody. I'm saying there are people who feel that way. There's still people who remember the tapes. You know, there's
Hmm.
still people who are hanging on the estrangement from. So they're looking at him like he may have some,
But it's
horribleness.
one thing for you as a to talk to your grown child and cuss them out. Because if my kids push me too far, they're gonna get a couple words and maybe a bebop bop upside their head. They get to talking to me crazy.
But
Because
and
at
I
this
get
point you
that, and
grown.
I get that, and that's how a lot of people choose to parent. Hey, Mimi, but some people be like, because the people was all over the comment sections in a lot of places talk about how you gonna talk to the child, and they ain't even have nothing as much to do about him being Christian or a gospel music
Mhm.
artist. More so, oh, I can't believe he talking to his child like that and so forth. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm looking at these
Meanwhile,
people like y'all
us
done
bitches is
all
looking like,
y'all children out
yeah, that sound about
from
right.
A to
That
Z,
absolutely
backwards
sound
and forward. Girl,
right.
because we talked about it. I
You
think
can't tell me that phone call where he cussed him out.
we did a live about that. Me, you, and
Hmm.
really me. We did a whole live about that.
Because that was an accumulation of shit that boy had done. And at this point, Kirk was like, "That's it. You have at this point you torn your drawers with me. The disrespect you giving me is enough. And at this point, come get this cuss out."
You know what, Harold? I can agree with that. And I was surprised Carry On even agreed to meet with him. I was very surprised Carry On agreed to meet with Kirk because I was like,
I'm not, because that's his daddy. At the end of the day,
but Carry On haven't been answering that man. I'm not going to believe that Kirk hasn't tried to. I believe he has probably reached out to and tried to talk to
hmm
Carry On, and Carry On left him on either red or put you to voicemail. So that's why I'm saying I'm surprised because even when he said, now he said, "What is this about?" Because I ain't got this type
he
of
said
time.
no. What he said was, "I've been texting you. Every text that I've sent you has been just been left on red. You haven't responded to me." So Kyrian has been reaching out to his daddy to try and get it right. And Kirk hasn't been
Oh, got you,
receptive
got you, got
to the reach out. And now he's finally reaching out. And Kyrian's like, "Oh, now you want to talk. 2 years later, now you want to talk to
you.
me."
You know what, Xavier? I'm not doing this with you. I'm
That's
not
none of
doing
my
this.
business, Xavier.
The man sells shirts and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know.
He be selling his little Texas Wood shirts. He say he be in the studio helping people with beats and stuff. I don't know. I'm assuming he has a job somewhere in America.
He gotta have some kind of job besides.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, like I said, I think that there's a lot in that conversation. That was the part I was interested in. The
There's a
carry
lot in
on
that
Kirk.
conversation that we didn't see and probably we didn't need to see. I feel like
But I feel like too, here's a part of it too. I can't shake the feeling
mhm,
that having a camera in your face may not change people's reaction or the
mhm,
way they, emoted or how they reacted to the situation. I can't say that I don't feel that way
mhm.
because with the mom, maybe her reaction. Now I'm drawing at straws. I'm just gonna start by saying I'm drawing at straws. Okay, but maybe she was like, okay, it's okay if the family knows I was a whole skank because they already knew that. But I don't need all over the fruited plains from sea to shining sea people over here knowing that I was the neighborhood bust down because y'all said it was only 3 people in the neighborhood, and I
It,
was sleeping with 2 of them, and I was the third.
Well,
Obviously, you were sleeping with 2. You thought the other man was was your
I
was
feel
your
like
was your baby daddy, and it ended up being this one, which means that you had to be doing things with both of them at the same time.
Listen, I feel like Kirk is taking care of her too, and that's the only reason she showed up. Because he threatened whatever little
He breaking
like
off.
he paying her rent and stuff.
I
Like
feel like if he was,
making sure she got a house to live in and all of that good
I
stuff.
feel like if he was, she about to get cut off.
You think so?
Girl, she might be about to get cut off because Kirk looked like, girl, this ain't it. Kirk was like, when he left her after that second DNA test, she still was like, nah. You could tell he was like,
Yeah, at that point he threw because when the lady told him on the phone and he was like, she lied to me again. So this is not the first time she done lied about their situation. You can like he was like, she lied again. I said, oh my God.
So yeah, now if you want to do a real Father's Day documentary, take the situation between you and Carry On. That's what I want to see. I for all intents and purposes, you had a childhood good enough to where that woman raised you where you could go make a life out of yourself and do well for yourself. But now let's address the elephant in the room. You got your own father issues that you need to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Father's Day need to come from. I hope while you got these songs dedicated to whoever your real dad is, I hope you got a couple songs dedicated to the persons or persons that you are a father for.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying. Because the way Carry On was over there breaking down.
Yeah, Xavier. Let me be
What
very
Xavier said, all of that. That's why I believe at some point every child has to smack their parent, and Kirk
Let
should
me
have
be
done.
very clear. At no time in my life, in this life or the next,
Yeah, you don't go around smacking your parents.
I put my hand to the elder's face. That's just never going to
That's
happen.
just never going to happen. Xavier.
That's just
There's
not going to
never
happen.
a scenario
And in
where,
turn, there will never be a time and or place where my children will put a hand to my face. I don't understand.
and you're talking about even children that were estranged from their parents, because I was estranged from both my mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? But I'm I have a relationship now with both of my parents, but I would never think, I don't even care if they did piss me off, but there would never be a moment that would cross my mind that I would be putting a hand to my parents.
That's
I did tell my mama one time. I
we
said,
don't do that over here.
I told my mama one time, I said, baby, you come over here now, you gonna hit me and you gonna beat me down. But I
Even
promise you,
contemplate the thought of putting my hands on the
what? No, but I told her, I said, but I promise you, you usually look to me to be your get out of jail free card because you're going to jail. I promise you, you're going to jail. You'll be in jail for a while. I don't know who's going to bail you out. I am going forward with all charges. They're going to ask me, do I want to press charges? I'm going to say yes. I keep a good lawyer on retainer. She will be prosecuted. I'm doing it just like that. You going to jail. You going to be in there for a minute. I'm just letting you know.
Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. None of that.
Now, I'm not going to hit you back. I'm just going to walk away, run away, crawl away, or whatever I need to do. But you're going to jail. That's the next call. Girl.
And the call is coming from inside the house.
I'm too old for this. Because I told her one time, I said, baby, you missed those opportunities. The whole, baby, those years are gone, baby. If you didn't get it in, if you didn't get a chance when I was down, I'm sorry. Those days are gone.
I can count on one hand the number of times I got a beating for acting, because I wasn't a bad kid, so I wasn't acting a monkey like that. I was the quiet kid in the corner with a book. Like, you could talk to my mama now, and she was like, "Yeah, you put a book. The whole house could be on fire. If you don't put in the book, Abby, get out of the house. It's on fire. She ain't even gonna notice." that shit is happening. I wasn't that type of kid. I didn't raise them type of kids. Like it's a level of
What is Xavier said?
I don't know.
Even know.
It's a level of respect. It would just never cross my mind to think that it would be okay and or appropriate to hit my mama. Now, I punched my daddy in the face and broke his glasses in half. But I was 15 and we were in the middle of altercation and he grabbed me and I didn't. And before I knew it, I swung. Because I was trying to push his soon-to-be wife's face through a windshield of a car.
Oh, dear God. You need to stop fighting.
I ain't been in an altercation in a good while.
Lord.
Not since I walked up on that lady at church. I ain't been in an altercation since then. I've been good.
Child.
Right, Tracy.
Why is Xavier, if you gonna go and slap your mama, Xavier, you want to go slap your mama? You go slap your mama. Let me know how that works out. Don't be over here promoting us to slap our mama. You ain't gonna have us going on the go.
Listen, we not trying to go to the upper room. She just fast forwarded me here, Jesus. She fast forwarded me. We not doing
it. Xavier, no means no, and yes means no. Yeah. We're not doing it. Now, if you want to go over there and slap your mama, let me know how that works out.
We'll bring some chicken from Publix for the repast. That's the
okay. Maybe I got some Czech sodas from Winn-Dixie for you.
Listen.
Yeah, that's some gypsy stuff.
Ain't no way.
Harold, that's some, like you said, Harold, that's some gypsy
I got
stuff.
My mama is Listen, I tell this story all the time. I got in this fight with this girl named Kelly Richmond, and her mama used to run a daycare out of her house. And she would watch my cousin, Sharonda, until I got out of school, and I would go to Kelly Richmond's house to pick up Sharonda. We would walk back home. I beat up Kelly Richmond because she said something crazy about my mama. So I beat her up and threw her in the trash can. So that day when I went to pick up my cousin,
not that you did the what's the guy from what was Jussie Smollett character from Empire?
When they put him in the trash can, his daddy put him in the trash can.
Threw the trash can.
Listen. So I go to pick up Sharonda, and Kelly Richmond's mother told me, if you put your hands on my daughter again, I'm gonna beat your ass.
You gotta fight to make the point that I'm not gonna take. No, that's not how that works, Xavier. That's not how any of this works.
But sometimes we just gotta fight to make the point that I'm not gonna take this foolishness.
No,
baby. That's when you go. If your parents are constant, see, this is the thing.
Yeah, you gotta just go get your own.
That ain't the relationship that I got with my mama. Y'all know the elder is the very definition of love. She like to collect people. Like I end up with people calling my mama all the damn time.
Xavier, if you want to make the point that you're tired of taking the foolishness, then you go get your own. That's kind of how that works.
Exactly. Get your own, and then you go no contact, and you don't deal with them anymore.
You do not have to even
go. You don't have to put your hands on nobody for that. You just go no contact. Yes, Harold, I threw her in the trash can, right? So when I got home that day, and because my father's mother, my grandmother, Eloise, she was always home. She was bedridden. She was always home. So when we got home, we do our snacks and stuff. So I got on the landline and I called my mama. It was like, Mom, Kelly Richmond's mama said that if I put my hands on Kelly again, she gonna whoop my ass. Now my mama was at work and she said, I'm sorry, excuse me. What did you say? And she said it in a way that made me scared to repeat it. But stupid me repeated it anyway. Kelly Richmond's mama said, if I put my hands on Kelly again, she gonna whoop my ass. She said she was gonna whoop your. She said the cuss word. I said, yes, ma'am. And she was like, okay, cool. I'll deal with it. Click. I said, I got scared. I immediately called up to the architecture firm where my dad worked. Hey, you might want to call your wife. Yeah, I think it's about to go. I think she's going to go beat up Kelly Richmond's mama. I'm scared. I don't want mama to go to I don't want her to go. Please, get your wife. Please. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have told her that. I should have called you first, sir. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Child, my mama, you know, when your parent get eerily calm, like it's scary, like a something out of a horror movie. That's what the elder did. I said, "Oh my God!" Even then, I knew. I said, "Okay, I can't tell my mama stuff because problems, problems." And she passed it on to me and my sister because I'm the nice one out of the two of us.
Now, here's my question though. Since we're talking about Kirk Franklin, Father's Day or whatever,
Okay.
how way is Carry On like 6'4", 6'5"? Kirk is like 5'2". The
Genetics.
mama is only
And his
like
wife short
5'5".
too.
His wife is only like 5'4", 5'5".
And it looked like his
Wait,
daddy ain't that much taller than him either. I don't know genetics. Just like my daughter is 5'8", and I'm 5'4.5", but her daddy was 6'3".
that's what I'm saying. If the daddy got, because Kirk ain't got no height, the mama ain't got no height.
Maybe the
Look
grandfather
like
or somebody.
the
Somebody
daddy
got
ain't
some
got
height
no
in
height.
that family. It came from somewhere.
Because Carry On is tall, tall. I'm like, do we need a DNA test here? Kirk, he did know, but you could see Kirk's features in Carry On. So
You absolutely can.
you could
And you can
definitely
tell
see
that's
Kirk's features in
he
Carry On.
Carry On. That's his baby. You
No,
can
Carry On mama is not tall. She is not tall at all.
no. Her mama's people might be tall, like
Mm-hmm.
her daddy or somebody. There's somebody in their family that got some height.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does skip a generation.
Well,
Like
overall, did you enjoy the
we still
documentary?
waiting on twin. My grandmother was a twin, and then she had another set of siblings that was a twin that had passed away, like at birth. So nobody in our generation had twins. So we're waiting for one of our kids to have a set of twins.
Yeah, because it's usually hereditary. It can't skip a couple generations. Did you enjoy the documentary?
I did. I boohoo cried at one point. Listen, snotty nose, upset. I was upset on his behalf. Like when his mama said,
I think Kirk's
"That on
wife
my dead
is
mama's grave,
Carry
this is
On
a
mama.
lie."
Wait, I don't remember. Now you got me thinking of that. Why am I thinking? I'm trying to remember. I think that is Carry On's mama.
I don't know. Hold
I
on.
don't remember. I don't remember.
That's okay. We got the Google machine. Carry on Franklin. Because I think he had Carry On
Before he married her, huh?
before he married
Yeah,
Tammy.
it might have been.
Yeah, Tammy is not Carry On's mama.
Oh, okay. Kirk was right. You know, Kirk was in them choir stands, so he was in the soprano section, alto section a couple times.
You know,
Kirk was directing choirs real young. You know, Kirk go way back. So
because Carry On is 6 feet tall. I just looked it up. He's 6 feet. So and Kirk ain't but 5'3", 5'4".
yeah, if that, you might be giving him some. He
Mhm.
over there with Kevin Hart.
Yeah, they listen.
They probably the same height.
Mhm.
Shoot.
Listen, I enjoyed the documentary. Like I genuinely was happy with the fact that his father was emotionally intelligent as he is, and that he was like, and he left it all to Kirk. Whatever you want to do on your timing, however you want to do it, whoever you see fit to introduce into my life is what we'll do. Because some people figure out that your son is Kirk Franklin, a millionaire, not 19 Grammy winning international gospel artist star who's worth millions of dollars. They be done been next thing you know, he be done ask for some money or something. But I don't feel like that the daddy is like that, because he said if he had known, he'd have done something back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely believe that to be the truth. That if his daddy had known that he was the daddy back then it wouldn't have gone in the way that it
I
went.
think it looks like I said. It looks like the dad is doing well for himself on his own.
Mhm.
So he doesn't really have a reason to, be big. So I think that could foster a very good, relationship from here on out.
Yes.
But going back to his own relationship with his own estranged son at this point, I forgot that caveat about this being out of wedlock. I wonder if that plays a part. Sometimes in family dynamics, when you have that one child and your wife is not
And there
the.
might be some resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because Carry On, if I'm not mistaken, Kirk would have primary custody with the custodial parent.
Hmm.
So,
So he was a package deal when he met the wife.
hmm
That's my thing. Don't
and
get
a lot of
involved
times
with
people
people
try
who
to
have
say that the
children
wife,
if you're not gonna treat their children like they're yours.
but here's the deal. I've seen situations with men where they marry someone and already have a child that lives with them, and
Hmm.
people think that it's that the wife that's bit. A lot of times it's the dad,
Hmm.
that treats that child funny because they'll go on and have other children with this wife
Right.
and
And
will
then pretend like
alienate
that
the
first
other
child
child.
don't exactly. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, so I wonder because there's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Now why would Tammy be
Now we ain't said nothing bad about Tammy.
we said nothing bad about
Not
Tammy.
nothing bad about Tammy.
Brian McKnight, listen. Oh, but
Exactly. Brian
he gonna
McKnight.
reap them seeds that he has sown against them children in regards to them favoring them over the white children over them kids. He gonna reap what he sowed.
But
Trust,
Tracy,
trust and believe.
oh
Let
yeah,
me
he
be very
absolutely.
clear. He gonna
Mhm.
catch a harvest from behind how he treated the black children.
But
Because if
Tracy,
he
that's
get
why.
old and feeble and need somebody to take care of him, them white children gonna put him in a home and keep pushing and spend all his money.
But Tracy, that's why I say a lot of times it's not the wife that's the one treating that child, you know, waywardly. It's the dad who's that's his actual child. But they often harbor these awkward and, you know, awful, resentment toward that child because maybe however the relationship broke up with their mom and they have this new relationship and they
Girl,
want to, they all in love with the new wife. Not that they shouldn't be in love with the new wife, but that
right. But
father
but you don't be so in love
will,
with your wife
treat their child bad.
that you treat the child that was there before like don't do that. Don't do that now.
Because if I remember correctly, I think Kirk was still a teenager when Carry On was born. If I remember correctly, I know he wasn't 20 yet when Carry On was born.
Well, Kyrion was born in '88. Um,
So, and I think Kirk was born in 70. I think him and Mariah are the same year. So, yeah. Hey, Castro. What's good?
well, I
So,
listen. I can only speak for my son's father. Um, no, that's not necessarily true. Yeah, he was
what?
born in '70. Um,
He was born in 70.
hmm
So that means that, yeah, he was still a teenager.
right. He was 18. Well, I was
Mhm.
18 when I had my first baby too. So it is what it is. Listen, that's not necessarily true because my
What?
son's father and I weren't intimate at all uh, before my son was even born. And he's loved I ain't never had an issue, no problem with child support. Him asking to come get his son, taking his son when he was living in Hawaii. My son used to go to Hawaii for the summers to stay with his dad. And we haven't been intimate since before I went to college. So it depends on the man. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. Men cannot be intimate with the mother and still care for the child. That's not how that works. Not at all.
Who said that? Xavier? Don't
Exactly.
bring your Gen Z. Mentality. Xavier, Xavier, bring it on your jizzy. Listen, Kirk, you gonna have to have a part two to this. I think it's negligent for you to have this whole Father's Day experience and not give us.
Well, I don't think this situation is all the way resolved with Kyrian yet. I know that they sat down and they hugged, and he's like, "I love you," and all those other things.
Oh, I
But
know
they're
it's
gonna
not.
have
It's
they're
gonna
gonna have
take
to
some time.
they're gonna have to because there's I think Kyrian has some mental health challenges.
Hmm. He
And I think
absolutely
they need
does.
to. I absolutely think they need to resolve if they're going to completely reconcile and be good.
He
They're
has
going
to
to have
resolve
to.
those
They're going to have to
mental.
address those
Mhm.
issues and get that
He
under.
does. You
And
could.
maybe
There's
make some
some
self
mental.
and
There's
stuff like
there's
that.
not only not only is does he have problems with his mental health. Part of mental health is that mental trauma
Hmm.
that he's dealing with as well. You know, where he gets in his own head and starts hearing and do. He's very erratic in his actions and movements a
Hmm.
lot of times, and so that comes with all types of mental traumas like that. But I can't say now if I'm being brutally honest, and Abby, I'll let you chime in. Kirk's actions are sometimes, when you look at them, erratic. I think the
Hmm.
difference is Kirk has something that can focus all of that attention into one thing, which is the music,
Hmm.
whereas Carry On has never found that one
That
thing
outlet.
that
That.
can he can
Mhm.
put everything together into. And so I think that's where that comes in with him. Because I think Kirk be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? One time you in the pulpit bringing down heaven, and then the next moment, I don't know, you might be down in the gutter with
Somebody
the
else,
devil,
you don't know.
and I'm okay with that. I'm
I'm okay with that too,
absolutely okay.
because me too. One minute
You
you
know
felt
what I'm
me
saying?
a
And
little
that
bit,
that
you
that's
catch
terrific.
me
But
on
I
the wrong day,
definitely
you
think,
like with your feelings hurt. And
yeah,
what's the abandonment issue, Xavier, that you are speaking of? Because him and his father didn't fall out till 2 years ago, and he was 33. So where's I know you're not talking thinking that his father abandoned him when he had full custody.
yeah, well, I don't know that he struggles with his sexuality like that. Like he's very open and honest
Yeah,
about
right.
his
That seems to be the
situation.
one issue that he's very clear on. He says he felt abandoned as a child. Probably that abandonment issue was with his mama.
but that in agreement with Xavier, that goes back to what I'm saying. What was the family dynamics like? Was it
Hmm.
like a Brian McKnight situation where he felt even within the house kind of estranged because Kurt,
Now
had
having
his
his own
wife
family, and
and
then
had the kids with the wife, like the daughter and the son. How many kids he got? Three? I think he has a daughter and another son. I know he has another son. And I think he has a daughter. I think he got three kids. I think he got two by Tammy.
right. Listen, my feelings was hurt when Kirk was talking to his mama about being homeless and having to go to the pawn shop and all me. I was like, oh Jesus. And the fact that his mama sat there stone faced like she ain't give not one
Like
damn.
she did not give two dams.
I
Girl, she
was
did there like, and
right.
so what do you want from me? So
Child, oof. Mm. Like I don't know how you as a mother see your child sitting there in
oh,
all of this pain and hurt and you not moved it not at all.
you know what, Xavier? I can't agree with that. I don't think Kirk suffers with his sexuality. I don't get that. I don't.
I don't get that either.
Not from Kirk.
No, because he
Now he's a sex fiend. He is
yes,
that.
that's
And
what I
he's
was about to say.
admitted to
'Cause
being that.
he's been very clear about that
I
issue
don't think Kirk
and the
struggles with
addiction to
his
porn and
sexuality.
stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
Xavier, having been on the earth much longer and seeing Kirk Franklin in all of his authenticity,
Right.
much longer.
He was the choir director that was fucking half the choir. 7 of the
You know,
sopranos and 6 of the altos.
right now he's one of the few. Normally, the choir director goes center stage for the tenor section, but he was one of the few that said, "No, give me the altos and the
Church
soprano."
musicians be listening.
Now, Kirk, I, and I don't. This is not directed at you, Xavier. Let me start by saying that. But I do see a lot of gays that if a man is, by any stretch of the imagination, in their mind, feminine or metrosexual, or they feel that automatically that person may struggle with their sexuality or maybe gay, and that's just not the case. There are just some men who maybe a little more feminine, or they, whatever term
They're
you want to
more
put on it.
into their aesthetic than others.
Right, and they are very, just like in the gay community, you see a lot of gay people be like, "How you feminine and you a top?" Because there's no bearing or how they
That's
want
not
to,
how that works.
go.
Like,
It's the same thing. So I think he has issues with carry-ons. Wait. He said, "I don't think Kirk suffers. I think he has issue with carry-ons bisexuality."
oh.
Now that might be
now you might not be wrong with that one.
that might be a situation. That
Because
absolutely could be a situation.
Parents, you don't know if it's gonna be a girl or a boy. Whatever it is, you're gonna have to. Whatever it is, it's just gonna be what it is. It's just gonna be whatever it is. It's whoever he loves.
So, but yeah, I could see that, Xavier. I absolutely could see Kirk saying, "Yeah, bruh," and Kirk might have saw it early on, and in a lot of Christian households, if a parent sees it early on, they do tend to take it out on that child. You see that a lot, and so now that might be something that may need to be looked into, because and a lot of times, I've said this to a lot of young gay men that are coming up, and I will mentor them and talk to them and help them through things. I said it's damn near an act of God that you get to adulthood and still have your mental faculties about you, when your entire life you have struggled with mental duress. Probably from your earliest moments, you have struggled with mental duress on a daily basis, constantly, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And getting to adulthood and not being stressed out or psyched out or whacked out is damn near an act of God. What's up, Mr. Pisces?
Hi, baby. Listen, I tried.
So, hey, little baby.
Hey, little baby. Listen and listen. That's why I was very open and honest with my children. Love who you want to love. Yeah, no, but I told my son, if she can't, don't bring me no white girl. No white girl to my house.
You can't tell him love who you want to love, but don't bring no white girl. I'm not saying that I disagree with you. However,
I did. I told him. I said, if she can't use my comb, don't bring her home. This is done. Don't do that. That's not it. But he is in love with a very beautiful young black lady who is she's getting ready to graduate from college.
That's good.
They're gonna go off and get married and have some babies. So
yes, Kirk did a documentary. It's on YouTube. Wait, Tiana and Iman are confirmed to be separate. See, Xavier, you're supposed to put me and Iman business out here. You're supposed to be putting me and Iman business out here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't here for Tiana anyway. She was just getting in my way.
Wait, did y'all see? Did you see Nikki's husband standing on the corner hollering where Offset at?
I did see that video.
And then
Offset with these people
got off the private jet laughing.
Oh God!
Like
It's so
Like,
much going
I
on
want to
this weekend.
play. What are you
Listen,
talking about?
I can't keep up. It's too much going on. You got Tiana Taylor and Iman out there, breaking up. I mean, Iman gonna be in my bed later tonight, so I'll comfort him tonight. He don't need a whole lot of comfort because we've been in a happy place for a little minute. That's my boo. But you got the child, the person who assaults children sexually, God of mercy, God of love, gallivanting around the streets.
Yes,
Like,
her husband, the R word. He's a.
I did see the latest scam with Juanita buying them. She paid
Yeah, she
that boy in
stole the
Jacksonville his money.
$30,000 and then didn't come do the thing. Yes,
Right. She need to get that boy his money back.
you need to get
Juanita,
that
but
young man his
Juanita's
money
good for
back.
this. Juanita's good for that.
I hope she gets shamed into giving that money back because you shouldn't. When he said the money, and then she's like, "Yeah, well, we're not gonna come." Okay, and he was very professional. I understand things happen, whatever. When can I expect my refund? And he said,
Right. Girl. Juanita girl.
"Get that man his money."
Juanita girl. Like it's a whole scam. Remember, did she ever give the man with the panties? Who she claimed looked at her panties and stuff? Who she lied on? That remember the man she lied on with that?
Yeah, I remember that. I
And
remember that.
they paid her too. Did she ever get them back their money?
Well, no, she didn't give them back their money because she did the event.
I thought she did. I thought she left before the
Mhm.
event. I thought
She went to the event, but
no. I thought when she first got there, she had her stuff laid out, and she said he went in there because remember he said he went to go check to make sure everything in the room was to her liking, and she
mhm.
went and saw said he saw my panty and then left.
Mimi said she think Josh reported he got his money back. I think because they shamed her at that point too. Because daughter, you did a lot. You do a lot. You do a lot.
They were saying she was asking for upwards of like $20,000 or $30,000. Girl, first of all, Juanita would have never been invited.
Yeah, I listen, woman of God is one like your testimony is wonderful, but no thank you. But yo, there's something about her spirit, man, that's off with me. Like
It is.
it
She
don't
just it just don't click like just her. It just permeates even through a
it's her
television
aura.
screen
Yeah.
and on on your phone or computer. It permeates through, and I'm like, girl, that's not it. I don't feel it. I do not feel it. Oh, the deposit was 30,000, and she wanted 60. Oh no, ma'am.
60 for what?
Girl, girl. We talk about Juanita buying them, Mr. Pisces. Yeah, Juanita. Girl, child. And her mama was the sweetest lady. Mother Bynum was real sweet. But them daughters, girl, girl. But she been scamming forever. Remember the $1 million wedding and everything? And they was divorced. Well, they said the man was beating her though. So I understand that. I understand that. But
Not the spirit of pimp.
remember she just was telling people, oh, take my class to learn how to pray for $14.99. $1,499.
When I can go to the Bible for free
Hey, girl,
and go to the scripture where they say God teaches you how to pray.
did she have a prayer cloth at one time? Juanita Bynum never did it for me. I never got into her. Never got into her. But it's a lot of people like I never got into. I never liked Kim Burrell. I never liked
In
her.
Barrel, in the
Yeah,
words of
never liked
Larry
her.
Reid.
Mm-mm.
Listen, I'm never going to take away her gift from her because a gift is given without repentance. But daughter attitude and the way she speaks is how you talk about you love God and you full of God and all those things, but the most hateful things come out of your mouth. No,
Awful
baby,
thing.
out of the
Awful.
abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, and the inside of you is ugly and nasty. No
She's a
thank you.
horrible person.
Mm-mm.
I just don't. I'm not saying she can't sing. Her voice is just not my go-to. I always say I don't like the airy kind of like airy, ethereal,
Mhm.
raspy sounding voices, which is why I was never really a real big Hate Retha fan because she has like a raspy kind of voice, and Hate
Mhm.
Retha can sing, and I'm never gonna deny her. Mama is, but
Right.
that's just not my go-to. I like a
Right.
nice, pure, clear, voice.
I'm more of a Jasmine Sullivan type of chick, but that's just me.
So,
Listen, and there's this new little girl named Samara
oh,
Joy.
Tamara Joy, that listen,
Listen,
Mama
that's a singing
is
heifer. I said, oh Lord.
down, down, and it be
I
so
said, no,
effortless with
sister.
her. She
She
be
done
so
turned
effortless.
a Dale song into worship. I said, oh my God, on today. So
I hate that she has to come into the music industry in today's society where they're not
because she
promoting
got
R and B.
that voice,
Yeah,
she
they're
got
not
a voice.
promoting R and
Mhm.
B singers, or they're not even.
Yeah,
And even if they aren't promoting the ones who got real good voices and can really sing.
exactly.
But that's a whole nother story. They out here promoting the Beyonces. I'm like, shut up, L. Teddy. Ain't nobody ask you about Beyonce.
Right. Why would you bring her
Why
into
would you even bring Beyonce up, L. Teddy? Ain't nobody ask you about that woman. Just
no?
bringing her up into this thing.
Mm-mm. Okay, so clearly I missed it. Where did you stand on? Because I'm not the biggest fan of Halle Bailey. Is that the baby's last names? The sister.
Chloe and Halle.
Yes. And then
Well, what
first of
happened?
all, Hallie did what she was supposed to do, which was defend her sister. Cause that's some shit that I would do. Keep my sister's name out your goddamn mouth unless you want to come see me. I don't have an issue with that. But when Funky Dineva
Oh, I
took
tried.
that
Listen,
opportunity to start saying you fake and you ugly and da-da-da-da, I'm
I
like,
put
well, how
it,
did
but
we even get
I
there?
try to avoid issues surrounding Funky because people think that I'm too close to,
To
a lot of situations.
you only got
People,
6 degrees of separation. You
yeah.
got no
So
degrees
I
of
have
like,
0 degrees of separation. So, I'm from Miami. We both went to the same college, and
I understand, but still, he was
so I
being he
might.
was
So
dead
when
ass.
I say
Listen,
things, it
listen.
will
I'm
come
I'm
off.
not I'm not a huge fan of Hallie. She gives me very much try too hard in pushing her sexuality forward above just her singing talent and things like that. I always feel like, okay, baby, you tried this a little, just dial it back a tiny bit. But that could be. Is it Chloe? Which one is which? Which one is which?
Hallie, I think, was the Little Mermaid,
Hallie was the Little Mermaid. I'm
and
sorry,
Chloe is the
this how
one
well
that
I
with
know
the
them.
album out.
I
Yeah.
don't know the uh the other one. Treat me like you treat me.
Hallie is the mermaid. Hallie is the one they were saying was pregnant. Chloe is the one who was
Chloe is the
windmilling for
one
her
who was
sister.
like, yeah, leave my sister alone before you have to come see me.
No, ma'am, Tracy, we did not. Not at all. Not even. Not even.
Thank you, Xavier. But okay, Chloe gives me very much like she's trying so hard, like it feels really forced, like it's not natural. The one who played the Little Mermaid gives real effortless, like she's like it comes naturally to her. She's just like has an ease about
I
herself.
feel like is part of it is I feel like Chloe feels like she needs to go down the same path and be kind of like a Beyonce
Mhm.
because they were, discovered by Beyonce instead
Mhm.
of finding her own path, blazing her own trail and things like that, and just being her.
Right. I
What you
think
do
as she
is
gets
when people
older,
give you an
it'll be easier.
opportunity, you have to be ready, take it, and then just run with it. You don't have to do what they want you to do. You do what you do that made them look at you and go and be the best you can be. You don't have to emulate them.
But just because she's always been that Xavier, it still gives it doesn't negate what I'm saying. I don't. Ever since I've become in the awareness of who this baby is and the things that I've seen her in, it gives me that same energy every single time I see her. She performed on somebody's award show, and even in doing her choreography, it just looked like she was trying to force a circle into a square peg, and it just wasn't fitting. No matter how hard she danced, it just there's some people are good because they practice, and some people are just good because that's what they're supposed to be doing, and they just naturally are good at that thing. And yeah, for me personally, this is just me personally, it always gives off like she's trying too hard and she's trying to force something that's, if, and I just want her to calm down. I'm waiting for her to get old enough for her light bulb to come on. They come around 27, 28 into your early 30s where you start saying, I'm a fucking adult. I'm not doing any of this bullshit that y'all say. I don't want to do that. And so that she can just sit in the seat of her womanhood and what she will and will not tolerate and will not do. And I think maybe some of that stiffness and try too hard will come off of her.
So Blueface is with his child.
Yes, Blueface is with the.
I thought it was Photoshop. I looked at the picture and thought it was a Photoshop at first. I did. I had to look at that picture like 20 times before I even put it in the members only chat.
Listen.
I had to look at it 20 times because I said, this looks real Photoshop.
Like, she better than me because I don't give a damn if he the baby daddy. He done did and said too much for me. But
listen, I'm not a fan of the mama.
That nigga said
the mama is whacked out too.
He said he was gonna kill her and the baby.
But the mama is whacked out too. Like both of them are. That's why I said from the beginning, where is Child Protective Services to come snatch that child away from both of them? Neither one of them.
They haven't done
out here reproducing.
They can't snatch the baby for no reason. Now, if the baby had been
born, every reason we have real conclusive evidence of a lot of reasons to snatch a child from both of them.
Sure.
So.
They can't just arbitrarily snatch your baby, so it's gonna be what it is. I just listen. I just stay on. Krishan and the baby is on my prayer list. Not that nigga though, but Krishan and the baby.
I don't have the strength. I just don't have the strength. I don't have maybe because I'm hungry. So I just don't have the strength. I mean, we see what he does with his current son. We see his antics with the current son. We see how his mama is. He comes from a history of, at this point, of bad parenting. Because the mama ain't shit. His mama ain't shit. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
She really ain't. She's really not. Like, she's of the Tokyo Tony, brand of mothering.
That mama crazy though. That lady nuttier than a fruitcake.
I can't escape the feeling that if she could, she would try to have sex with her son. I cannot shake that feeling.
It gives me very much emotional incest. It does.
Like, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I try not to talk about people and their parenting, but baby, y'all putting this stuff all over Al Gore's good
Well, the
internet,
baby
and we
ain't
see
but
exactly
ain't even the baby not
what's
even a
going
month
on.
old yet. So
That crossed your mind too, Harold? Listen, why are you examining every dimension of your son's penis? Why are you even looking at your child's sex? Why? I don't have the strength. I do not have the strength at all. I don't have the energy. I just don't. What else happened while I was gone? We got Offset and the pedophile going at it.
well, he's not. Well, he's not a. He's a rapist. He's not a pedo. That the pedo is her brother.
I thought the husband
The
was the
husband
sexual offender.
harbored a 15-year-old girl, but he
Then
was
that makes you a pedophile.
like he was no, he was 16 when it happened. He was a teenager as well when it happened.
Okay. I thought the story he was grown, so that's different.
No, he was a teenager too when it happened. It's her brother who was repeatedly having relations with a 12-year-old against the 12-year-old's will and or without any consent. That she purchased attorneys for and still continues to put money on his books and things of that nature. Um, yeah, and now,
Wait,
but
who stepped up?
but the husband, um,
Somebody stepped up. I just don't have that. But I don't expect anything good from Offset either. One, you're Offset.
first of
Two,
all,
your mind
Offset
is
was minding
Offset.
his business. The rapist and his friends was out there on the block hollering his name. Cause Offset had the nerve to DM them and be like, stay out of the women's business. Talk about the beef between um
Nikki and Cardi.
Nicki and Cardi. He's like, that's women's business. Stay out of women's business. And now they standing on the corner hollering about they looking for Offset. For what? For why? That
Listen,
man on a private jet. He minded his black rich ass business. You, sir, have to ask permission to leave the state. Y'all are not the same. You're not the same.
I don't like either one of them. I
You,
don't like
sir, have to
Offset.
register on
I
the
don't
sex
like Kitty
offender
Perry. I
registry. You
don't.
cannot go to schools. You cannot be around
I
children.
don't like
You're a
Nicki
sex offender,
Minaj.
sir.
I don't like Cardi B. All of these people are a part of the box of deplorables.
Well, that's up to you. I've never been a huge fan of Nikki. Something about her just don't sit right in my spirit, man. Something about her aura, how she
Listen,
acts, how she treats people, just ill and yuck. I
I'm
think
never gonna
Cardi is
be okay
hilarious.
with
That's the
Cardi
only
B
reason why I like
because I
two
don't know
people's
why y'all let this Latinx woman.
because the VMAs was in New York a couple of days ago, and
No. That's not the point that I'm making.
oh no,
I'm saying,
I was answering Xavier's
oh, okay.
question.
Oh, you're asking Xavier. Yeah, because the point that I'm making is I don't like her because I don't need you calling me N words, and you have no business doing that, young Latinx woman.
You
And I'm
mean
never going to be okay with it. That's
Takeoff is
my
the
point.
one that's dead, ain't he? Which
No,
one died? Wasn't it Takeoff that got killed?
Takeoff got killed, I think.
Okay, so what are we talking about? The man is dead. He ain't paid it. He ain't paid it all. He
Who
ain't
ain't paid what
paid
off?
the house again. Like I don't understand.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Tracy talking about something we go overlook Takeoff having a great case before he lost his life and offsetting them supporting him. He dead now.
Well,
What you want us to do with it?
well, I mean, there's some truth to that, so there's that.
But that man dead. I don't know what you. Listen, the VMAs were in New York, and Cardi went to the VMAs, and she was there with her husband. I guess they assumed that they would still be in New York, even though they probably left the award show, got on a jet, and went to wherever they wanted to go.
Xavier, we've already debunked that. That's been debunked many times over. The woman is fully Latinx. That's been debunked 8,000 times. Xavier, get out of here.
Her father is from Barbados or something.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No means no.
That no.
That is already
doesn't mean no because you want it to be.
I'm not saying because I want it to be. This has been debunked many times over on credible websites. God, Wikipedia is not a trusted website.
Who said Wikipedia?
No, because when people Google things, the first things that pops up is Wikipedia, which is why they go with untrusted websites and unfounded information sometimes.
Oh no, her daddy is Dominican. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Her father, Carlos, is Dominican, and her mother, Sierra, is a Trinidadian of African and Spanish descent. Oh, I can't pronounce that sister's name.
Anyway. But no, Cardi B never rubbed me the right way. Just throw her in the box of deplorables with Erica Mena. What's the other white girl from Love and Hip Hop New York who I can't stand that used to date my frat brother? Oh my God. I think they still together now.
I don't know who that is.
Oh God. What's her name? On Love and Hip Hop New York. God damn it, they still together now. Anyway.
Who's your frat brother?
Not Sin. Not Sin.
Who's your fat? If I know your fat brother, I might can make an association with who he's dating.
What's his name? Light skin with the curly hair. You know who I'm talking about, huh?
Rich.
Yeah.
Mariah Lynn.
Mariah Lynn. Thank you. Oh, I can't stand her. Oh, thank you. You knew exactly who I was talking about. Thank you so much.
I only like Mariah Lynn because once upon a time,
I think Mariah Lynn and Rich are still together, aren't they?
And I can't take it back because I did this shit. That's the only reason why I still don't.
Isn't Mariah Lynn and Rich still together off and on right now?
Oh, I don't even know.
I think they are.
I don't know.
A mess. Oh, child, I didn't even think we was gonna be on here an hour. We done been on here an hour and 22. We need to go eat that.
Tracy, you want me to? Yeah, I'm not gonna be upset. She like this. I don't know what you want from me. That's black on black crime. What you want?
No.
Yeah,
no.
It is. Small dick rich is
It is pretty small.
Small dick.
I don't know a Billy Abbott because I don't watch The Young and the Restless. So I don't know who that is.
Oh, God.
I do remember Irish from 702.
I'm so sorry. That's it. I'm so sorry. Tracy, let it go because we're not gonna argue about it because I don't give a damn.
We're right here, Tracy. We are right here.
Go.
These people over here, they just love inviting people into what we got going on.
Because if you come,
and these people don't have any part in what we got going on, and we are not going to allow these people to do all of these horrible things.
Oh, if you go I'm going to hell.
No.
The person go to hell.
Yes means no. She should not be disparaging anyone.
I met you there.
Anyone.
Moving on. I'm still stuck on small dick rich. I don't. That's where I'm stuck. That's where I'm stuck in. He called that man small.
Oh my God!
Baby from 702. I said rest in peace to the Irish from.
Yes,
Was
Iris.
she
She was
on
a
Encore?
beautiful black girl.
Was Irish on Encore or the Revel? What's the name of the show?
Encore?
Yeah, was
No.
she on that?
I think Irish came to visit. Because they had the light skinned chick that was on Encore. That's who was
Mm-hmm.
on Encore, the light skinned one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the light skinned one.
Xavier
That was
said,
on.
yeah, she was on Encore. I
I
thought so.
remember the light
I thought
skinned one
so.
being on
Irish was
Encore.
on Encore.
Was it two people from 702 on Encore? It was
Gerald
two
said
people.
Irish and Lamisha.
Yes, it was
Okay,
two
I
people. I had
thought
to
so.
remember because
Oh,
I
that's
just
so sad.
remember the
Did they
light
say
skinned
how she
one.
died?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I hope she wasn't sick or something. Oh God. Well, she had to be something. Something had to be wrong because she was only 43. Tracy wanted to know how.
Tracy, the peen pics have been all over the internet. They've been, yeah.
Maybe
Tracy,
he's a grower, not a shower.
no, it was
Oh, I tried.
yeah.
I tried to help. I tried to help the situation. Listen. Oh my God, that's sad. Oh no. Look, Misha said she was battling an illness. They haven't said what it was. Oh, okay. Oh well, our prayers go out to her family. That's
Hmm.
a hard place to be.
Definitely, prayers and condolences to her family, friends, and loved ones. Um,
Oh, okay.
so
Listen, Tracy, I ain't seen them neither. I
you don't
don't
want to.
on that
Don't
side.
don't do it to yourself, please don't. I miss Tumblr for that. Tumblr used to have like three or four um pages that had everybody and everything, and they child. Woo! Too bad Tumblr isn't around anymore. The good days.
Did she have? I don't know if she had lupus. If he
I,
was a
I don't
grower
think
and
that
not
picture
a
was
shower,
soft,
might take a picture on
Xavier.
soft. That's just dumb.
I
Listen,
don't know. If I
I
remember
don't
correctly,
know.
it
I
wasn't
don't
on
know.
soft
I don't know.
Xavier. If I remember correctly, yeah, it was at full mass.
It probably make you sick. Honestly, it looked all. Ooh, okay. No thanks. Not it was slimy and wet. And yuck. Ooh, I hate
Who
having that.
wasn't a part of the? I'm so lost. What Missy tribute?
Tracy, don't you put that in my ear. Do not do that. Tracy,
Tracy gonna put them in the
Tracy.
Don't chat watch. Tracy
I
gonna
don't want
have them in the
you put them
Don't chat
pictures in my
in
inbox.
five, four,
We gonna
three,
do a
two, one.
just so I can beat you and we can fight. Because what I'm not gonna do. Don't do that. Do not find no pictures.
Girl.
Small dick rich is enough for me. That's listen, I'm a believer. If you tell me I'm
I'm
a
sorry
believer.
to hear that, Tracy W. We definitely gonna keep you in our prayers too.
Listen. See, I have which is cousin to lupus. Let me start being more vigilant. Listen. Gosh.
Oh, I gotta go look at it. I didn't see Black Music Honors this year.
Neither did
I have
I.
to go look at it. Anyway, it's almost an hour and a half, and we about to get off here.
We did because this is 3 times as long as the actual documentary. We've been up here 3 times as long as the documentary.
Oh my God.
Well, I recommend that you go watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it,
If you haven't,
go watch it. It's worth the watch. No, I know it's not Tracy. I did not know that, so we definitely gonna keep you in our prayers. But no, it's worth the watch. Go watch it, and then you can come back and watch our commentary again and see how you feel about what we said about what you saw.
Exactly.
And then there's that. Tracy, not I almost called you Tracy. Guy, we got 2 Tracys. Abby,
Yeah.
you going live tomorrow?
Tomorrow, possibly. I don't know. I had to find something to talk about.
Kirk
I
can launch a
don't watch.
reality show from this documentary. He probably absolutely could,
Tracy, I'm gonna fight
but
you. I watched you found it.
Z key.
I don't think. I don't think he wants to
Fashion is
expose
key,
that
I
much of
should
his
say.
life.
Fashion is key.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that the other parties would be okay
And
with being on a
okay,
reality show. And I think that the part with Carry On, I don't think that deserves to be on reality. I think
I,
that's something
like
that
it's
needs to
enough
be
going on to.
off television and just flushed out, so that they can really work that out. Yeah, I think that deserves to be off camera, but we'll see. Who knows? But yeah, did you say if you were going live tomorrow, Abby?
If I can find, listen, we could talk about Colleen Ballinger's husband.
About who?
Do you know who Miranda Sings is? She had
Miranda?
a huge YouTube channel, and then it propelled her into having like a Netflix TV show. And she was a white lady on YouTube, and it's come out that she was grooming children and sending panties to kids. And then one of the people that worked for her tried to say that it wasn't just her doing crazy stuff, it was her husband too, and the husband had to come out. And they found out that the boy was doing a bunch of lying about the shit and making up shit that the husband never did, the ex-husband never did, and then the ex-husband had to come and give an interview.
Oh, this sounds
It was a
very
lot.
hard. Yeah,
It's
we
a
need
lot.
you to
It's
do a
a
live.
lot.
We need a whole every reviews breakdown on this whole situation.
This and the Tic Tac mama who got thrown in jail for, she was locking her kids up. She had them in handcuffs and duct tape in the house so they couldn't leave the house. And she got arrested. The 12-year-old boy escaped the house and ended up at the neighbors, and they called the police. The baby still had duct tape around his wrists.
Oh wow.
She wasn't feeding her kids. Woo, Jesus. It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, Kirk Franklin is not actually a singer. He's a
Yeah, he ain't no
songwriter.
singer.
He's a musician.
He's a songwriter and musician, but he ain't no singer though.
He's not a singer.
He's kind of like, if today, you know how Ty Tribbett can't sing, but always jumping around all over the place.
Nah, you didn't have to do that.
He do be jumping around all over the place. I don't care for Ty Tribbett because he's very homophobic and said some of the worst things in the world. I've heard that man say some awful and insidious things.
Oh, I haven't heard what he said, child.
Child, I can send you some links, honey. It's awful. I don't really care for his music either.
I like the man music now.
I really don't.
Okay.
We're getting off here. Listen, we got okay.
My allergies is cutting.
Yeah, because I'm hungry. But listen, y'all, I know I missed Silly Saturday yesterday, but I wanted to come on live today and say hey to y'all. So hey y'all. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow. I am not going out of town. The people are already telling me I need to watch and read the Dog Pits Child.
That man looks like a beetle. Who cheating with him?
Karen. Just be prepared. You listen, the way you go dog walk Kirk mama. But like I said, I need Kirk got to get some too for the carry on part. Kirk, you ain't handle the carry on part right to me. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy it. But yes, Terrence, go over there and watch it.
I wanted to fight his mama. So you
you gonna want to fight your mama. You gonna want to beat her ass.
Mama and the auntie.
And the aunt.
Listen.
You want to beat both of their ass. Both of them. So yeah, Terrence, go watch it. Let us know how you feel. Well, if you want to do a panel, we can come back up there and talk about it on your platform, Terrence. We'll mind.
We sure will. We'll mind Will Millen on his mama.
We'll mind Will Millen because the mama need to be Will Millen. Anyway, let us know in the group chat. That's all we got for y'all. Y'all know how I always say I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged. They're much appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow. Y'all know 5 o'clock-ish. See y'all then. Till then, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.
We gone.
Press the date.